Hello, dear students. Welcome to the part 3 session of the chapter Fiber to Fabric. In the last class, we have learned about wool, processing of wool, and the various steps taken during the processing of wool. So, today we are learning about the silk. Okay, silk is also animal fiber, and we are getting the silk from the silkworms. So we will learn what is silk, the life history of silkworm, and how silk is processed. Silk is obtained from silkworms. The rearing of silkworms for obtaining silk is called sericulture. See here, can you see the picture of these silkworms? Yes, these are silkworms. So it looks like worm. All of you have seen what is worm, isn't it? Yes. And at least you may know this as worm, or some say it is larva, or some say it is caterpillar. And I know that you have learned in your lower classes that the young one of butterfly is called larva or caterpillar. Yes, of course. The insect, the larva, the young one of the insects are nothing but larva. Okay, so this is what silk. Silk is also obtained from silkworm, and this silkworm is having different stages. Let me show you the different stages of silkworm. See here, this is can you see the first picture here? See the first picture here. This is moth. It is called moth, and this looks like a butterfly, isn't it? But we will not call this as a butterfly. We will call it as moth. Why? Because this is not so attractive. It is not so attractive with bright colors, and also its body will be fat compared to the butterfly. And this is moth. Okay, same like butterfly. And you know that butterfly lays egg. Of course, this moth is also laying egg, and this is nothing but the egg, and this egg hatches to larva or caterpillar. Okay, and this caterpillar will wove the silk around it, and means it is forming a protective coat around its body called cocoon. Okay, so this larva will completely metamorphose means change its body. Okay, completely change its body to a pupa. See, can you see the pupa here? Yes, this stage is called pupa, and you can see in this pupa stage you cannot see any legs, you cannot see any wings. At least in this larva stage you can see some you can see the mouth parts. Mouth will be there, mouth parts are there, legs are there. Okay, but can you see in this pupa stage there is no leg, there is no wings, no mouth parts. So this is the stage of rest. It is the stage of rest, and in order to protect this stage, so if any animal or anything or any insect or birds can eat this pupa. So in order to protect itself from this pupa, what is happening? It is surrounding or covering its body around a case called cocoon. Okay, and later in this cocoon, the pupa will get converted into moth. It will change. That is called metamorphosis, change. So the pupa gets converted into moth. And how does it come out from this case? Okay, from the mouth of this moth, it will secrete a juice, and that juice will dissolve or cut open this cocoon and come outside. Isn't it so amazing to know this? Yes. Actually, in most of the insects, it may be a mosquito or many insects. It will undergo these similar stages. What are those stages? Egg, larva, pupa, and again moth. Understood? And also the pupal stage will be having a protective case. In silk, it is a cocoon. And do you know how we are obtaining silk? Yes, we are obtaining silk from this cocoon. Can you see the cocoon? Yes, and the cocoon is nothing but this cocoon has silk in it. Okay, so we are taking this cocoon and removing the silk out of it. I will today itself I will explain how it is. But time being, you understand that this is the different stages of a silk moth. Okay, now what we are doing here, we are purchasing the egg from the egg market or the seed banks. Okay, so there are special farmers who will what we can say, who is making the moth, or they are purely cultivating the silkworms to become moth, and the moth will lay the egg, and from there we can get the silk moth eggs. Okay, and what we are doing, if you want to produce silk, so what we have to do is we have to rear this, we have to bring the egg, okay, from the market, and a seed market or seed bank it is called. You have to bring it, and you have to give the egg so a particular temperature. Okay, warm temperature, and that after some days you can see the egg hatching out to larva. And what we have to do is the main task here is we have to provide the larva with food, sufficient food. And what is the food of the larva? It is nothing but mulberry leaf. Mulberry leaf. Especially we are rearing mulberry silkworm. Especially we are rearing mulberry silkworm. There are different types of silkworms available. Okay, in your textbook it is given that there is eri silk, kosa silk, okay, muga silk. Okay, but we are rearing, especially we are rearing in India, most of the people rear mulberry silk moth. That's why we have to provide mulberry leaf to this silkworm larva. Okay, and after some days this larva will cover its body around a cocoon. Okay, and again this, after this, before the moth come outside, before the pupa converts into moth, we have to take this cocoon. Otherwise what will happen, if the moth come outside from this cocoon, what happens, our silk will get it gets cut open. We will not get a continuous silk thread. Okay, let me show you some pictures. So see here, this is silk moth. See the body, it is so fat compared to our butterfly, isn't it? And that is why, because of continuous rearing, it has lost the capacity to fly also. So it doesn't fly. Okay, you have to understand that these are the eggs. So many eggs it will lay, so many eggs, hundreds of it will lay, hundreds of eggs. And this is nothing but the larva. So when the eggs hatch into larva, the larva will be so tiny like ants. Okay, and you are feeding it with mulberry. Can you see? And day by day, see, suddenly it won't become so much fat. Day by day the size will increase and it becomes this much big. And afterwards this larva will stop eating. Means what? It will eat continuously day and night. Okay, for 2 to 3 weeks it will continuously eat, and at last it will stop eating and it will sit in the form of this position. Can you see the position here, how it sits? Okay, and it starts to spin the cocoon. How does it spin the cocoon? See here, what happens here is the larva produces a liquid from its mouth. Okay, and this liquid, when it comes in contact with the air, becomes hard. Okay, and that is nothing but a silk thread. Okay, see, very amazing, isn't it? See, this larva, what does it do is, after eating day and night, it sits in one place and it will it just sends a liquid, and the liquid is nothing but protein liquid. It sends from its mouth, a very thin liquid will send. And what happens, that liquid that which it sends outside, that hardens and becomes a thin strand of thread, and this larva, it will move its head in the form of number 8. So in the form of number 8 it will move its head like this and like this. Okay, and what will happen, it will spin its body with the cocoon. Everywhere around its body it will spin with the cocoon. See here. Okay, So this is the cocoon, and after some days, what is there in the inside the cocoon? Pupa is there inside the cocoon. This larva gets converted into pupa, and what is there in the cocoon? Pupa is there in the cocoon, and after some days, after some weeks, this pupa will get converted into moth. Okay, now how it comes outside? See, can you see the opening here? Okay, and from this opening it comes outside. How does it make the opening? This moth, it will secrete some liquid, okay, and that liquid can dissolve this cocoon, and from this area the moth come outside. And now see here, this cocoon is having this end opening now. Yes, if this opening is there, means our we cannot get a long strand from this silk. Okay, this silk is, see, one more characteristics of silk is the silk is not a small fiber. Okay, silk is a long thread. Will be something like 200 meters long thread. It will be there. Okay, that much long it will be there, and that's why if the cocoon is cut open, we won't get a long continuous thread. Okay, this is what I want to tell. Let us go back and learn something. See here, life history of silk moth. The female silk moth lays egg which hatch into larva called caterpillars or silkworm. Of course, the female who is laying the eggs, female silk moth lays the egg which hatch into larva and caterpillar or silkworm. The larva feeds on mulberry leaves and grows in size. It becomes fat size. Then it secretes fiber made of protein. Okay, what does it do? It secretes fibers made of protein. From where it secretes? Through its mouth, and views the fibers around itself completely. Okay, and forms pupa. This covering is called cocoon. The pupa then develops into a young silk moth. The yarn or thread is obtained from where? Cocoon. We want what? Cocoon. To get cocoon, we have to bring the eggs and rear it with mulberry. Okay, and of the silk moth. The most common silk moth is the mulberry silk moth. I already told that we are having. Actually, there are so many different types of silk moth like eri, muga, tassar, but we are rearing mulberry silk moth. And one more thing you should know, that whenever you are rearing mulberry silk moth, at the other side you have to what you have to do? You have to grow mulberry plants. Okay, that is one more part of the agriculture. You have to grow it in large quantity, because you have to provide the mulberry leaves in 3 times: morning, afternoon, evening, and also at night. Also 4 times you have to rear, and you have to give the food to the silkworms. Understood? And not only that, when the baby is very small, means what? When the larva is very small, you cannot give it a large leaf to eat. It cannot eat. You have to make small pieces of the leaf, and you have to give it, so that it will only suck the juice of the mulberry leaf. And also you have to provide tender mulberry leaf, not hard one. So students, it is really amazing to, or it is just a different experience to rear the silkworms. You have to take care of the silkworms like how we take care of the small babies at home. Understood? And you should see everything. You should not touch silkworms with your hand. You have to use chopstick for that. Okay, and with the utmost hygiene you have to take care of these silkworms. If you are not doing so, the silkworms may get prone to diseases, and if one silkworm is getting disease, your whole tray will get affected. Understood? And that is how you have to provide it with good humidity, good temperature. Okay, you should have a humidity recorder, okay, in your rearing room. Temperature reading should be there, and that is how you have to take utmost care. And if you get good yield means good product, good silk, then you will get good income. You know that silk is very expensive. Understood? Next, I hope you understood this. Life history of silk moth. First comes moth, egg, larva, cocoon, pupa, and again moth. Please don't forget this. These are the life stages of silk moth. Egg, larva, this caterpillar, big caterpillar, you can also call it larva. This is cocoon. This is mulberry tree. It goes into a tree. If you see here, you should not allow your mulberry tree to grow, mulberry plant to grow into a tree. It will be very difficult for you to get the leaves and all. Okay, so you have to prune it properly, and you have to maintain one height. According to your height, you have to maintain the plant. If it grow big, you cannot harvest the leaf. So that is what. And have you seen this mulberry fruit? It is very delicious. Understood? Next, from cocoon to silk. Now you came to know that it is the cocoon that contains silk. Now what we want? We want cocoon. Silk moths are rare and their cocoons are collected to get silk yarns, that is silk threads. Okay, for the first step is rearing of silkworms. Rearing means what? Taking care of the silkworm. How to take care of the silkworms? I already told. Once again we will read. The female silk moth lays eggs. The eggs are warmed to a suitable temperature. Okay, how you know that babies are kept in incubation? The same way, even the eggs are kept with by giving it proper temperature with warmth. The eggs hatch into larvae called caterpillar or silkworms. The silkworms are kept in bamboo trees. I will show you the bamboo trees and fed on. Actually, it is fed on mulberry leaves and grows in size. After 30 to 40 days, the silkworms stop eating because it has eaten the food so much that at last, after 30 to 40 days, it will stop eating and begins to spin cocoons. Inside the cocoon, the silkworm develops into pupa and then ultimately silk moth. Now you can see this bamboo tray. Please see the bamboo tray, and this is the bamboo tray, and the bamboo tray will be having some case inside it. Understood? And that is where you have to keep your silkworms. Otherwise, see, this is the tray. Okay, big tray it will be there. The silkworms will be randomly, okay, in a haphazard manner. You have to pick the silkworms and you have to keep it properly in the case. Then only you will get cocoons in a line. So moth, egg, larva, pupa, cocoon. Next is processing of silk. Now we have to take the cocoon. From the cocoon we have to get the silk. The cocoons are collected and kept in sunlight or boiled or exposed to steam. Why? Because we don't need pupa. What is there in the cocoon? Pupa is there in the cocoon. Do you need pupa or silk? Or do you need pupa or cocoon? We need only cocoon. We don't need pupa. Okay, and also the cocoon will be so dry and hard. To make it soft, it is kept in boiled water or it is exposed to steam. The silk fibers separate out. As soon as it gets wet, the silk fibers will separate out. The process of taking out the fibers from the cocoon is called reeling. What is reeling? The process of taking out the fibers from the cocoon is called reeling. Which fiber it is? Silk fiber. Reeling is done in machines. The silk fibers are then spun into threads and woven into silk cloth. So thread, okay, and silk cloth. See here, from cocoon to silk, egg, larva, cocoon, and from the cocoon, what is there? Silk thread. Okay, reeling. After reeling, we will get silk thread. Okay, so this is reeling. See, this is the machine used for reeling, and from the silk thread, obviously, this is silk. You can get the yarn. Then weaving is done here. You all know, and this is the fabric, silk fabric. See here, this is very popular in Ilkal also. No, everyone has seen this weaving machines, and this is the fabric. Okay. So hope you understood this lesson. Yes, this lesson is last year also. I hope this lesson was so marvelous. You all liked that lesson. The same way this year also, it is so amazing, isn't it? Hope you all understood. If you are not understood, please call me or text me. in my WhatsApp number. I hope you know who am I. I'm not Aruna ma'am, I am Sheena ma'am. Okay, so please get my number. I hope you have my number, and please call or text me. Okay,